doing today? Well, over 1,300 tiny earthquakes have been happening underneath the Vancouver Island, as you can see up in the mid part, and then the lower part, from the Nanaimo down to Victoria, in that little area there, and then up in here too. That was the article. I'll put a link to the article. And by the way, Greece had a earthquake today. I think at 5.4. If it hasn't changed. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm trying to just focus on the West Coast, and this has actually happened before. Last year, August the 19th, they has had several hundred earthquakes. It says it happens every 14 or 15 months. It's actually getting shorter from last year. They didn't mention that. Because if you look up these tiny earthquakes, what's actually happening is that this whole area is actually shifting and then going away. Now this is going to put a lot of stress, especially on the Cascadia fault line and such, right? But you know, this could be something, and this is, it may not be, but this is interesting. It happens every 14 to 15 months, but last year it was August, so that's actually 13 months. So it's getting shorter. And the island's moving around. Weird, eh? So I'll put a link to it. It's interesting. If you look into it, if you live on the west coast of British Columbia, or even Washington, or Oregon, or California, and yeah, and if you don't like what I do, that's too bad. Because you're probably a sympathizer for some other government. No, really. And you know what? These things I don't really have to do. And I'm thinking about going back to just making little news clips, because I don't know, people be kind of anal retentive. But you know, it's interesting. If you look at one of my videos, the Jamaican one, got a lot of likes. No one disliked it. And if there's dislikes now, you got haters out here, and I don't really care. I really don't. But the point is, I called the lockdown on you. Yeah, I says, I hope you enjoy your lockdown. That was in December. Yeah, they're going to do it again. Yeah, anyways, that's a whole other thing. That's why you need to be prepared, and that's why I do these videos for. I know there's a few people, like there's 18 of my subscribers. I used to have a bigger channel doing news stuff and that, but I mentioned secret words they didn't like. I'm not going to say it here. I might have codes for later, but if you enjoy what I do, let me know. If you want to broaden it instead of just earthquakes, but I tend to lose people. But my other channel had almost 100, and I said those wonderful magic words, a bunch of them. And how are you feeling today with that disease? That's what I was mentioning a long time ago, but not the disease. Later, everyone. 1,300 tiny earthquakes underneath Vancouver Island. They're doing the continental shift. No, the island shift. And I'm so glad that I moved from here and then went way off the chart. And if you are in the area, to say like Vancouver or North Vancouver, all this area, when the big earthquake happened in 1700 on January 26, it rippled up in here and washed all the First Nations peoples out. And the only way we actually had an accurate call on it is that the tsunami went all the way to Japan. And they have a technology called writing, you know, and it was written down. And there's also some areas down in Oregon where there was actual salt water. It was actually flushed into an area and killed off a whole bunch of trees inland. So just be prepared for a big one. I'm not saying it's going to happen in the way the event of the world is right now, with fires and everything in California and Oregon and Washington. You know, it's before the shake and bake. It's bake and shake. Let's just say you're prepared. I think most people would be prepared because we're being under lockdown half the time, depending where you are in the country, or what other country you're in, or whatever state you're in, whatever province you're in. Just be prepared. You should have it all now, right? You should. You should be prepared. And I know the people who've been following me for years from my other channel and that, I know you guys are prepared. You guys could make like some awesome stuff out of dandelions. I know you guys can, or alfalfa or anything. But I'm just talking to that one person or two people who are not ready at all. Be prepared. And I'll put a clip to this, because this was real. This was like a couple days ago. And they're too little to actually show up on the earthquake scale. But the actual island's actually moving around, kind of going in and out. They said this may or may not be connected to the big one coming up, but the big one is well overdue. It is. It's overdue. Like I said, 1700. Do the math. It's a long time. It's over what? 320 years overdue? Yeah. So, have a great one, everyone. If you're in this area, just be prepared. You know, it is strange. It is happening. This is not part of any big earthquakes, but it's little ones that's actually shifting. There we go. Be prepared. Remember, and even if you are prepared, go over your stuff again. Go over stuff, your water, your you know, the water purifiers, your freeze-dried food, canned food. Check the dates. Make sure you're not left holding a bag and the bag's got nothing in there for you. That's when you really need it. Later, everyone, and thank you for stopping by, everyone. I just want to give a shout out to everybody who has been following me throughout the years, even my old channel. And as you know, what this platform does is stifle. It's a stifling platform. Yes. And this is my little gizmo I have. Hey, I'm doing the best I can. Anyways, stay safe, everyone. And yeah, take care all.